I don't know what it is with Bungie and balancing the PvP sandbox, but whenever I think I am done with SMGs, they just pull me back in.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Now, forever now, what it feels like, the Immortal has been the best SMG in PvP, and even though they have nerfed this weapon specifically, as well as some perks that has been massively unbalanced in PvP, one could say, this Immortal is still pretty damn good. However, if you guys are not in the mood to try and play trials for some of those annoying 3v3 encounters, maybe you run into some hackers, maybe just not for that competitive scene, Bungie has given you arguably the best SMG in the game right now to use as a crucible drop, and that is the Unending Tempest, probably why you clicked on this video. And today we'll be going over the best PvP roles to utilize in that sandbox, because oh my god, this SMG is absolutely incredible. Now, for one, I must mention this, in order to get the most out of SMGs in my opinion, you're going to need to rock the Titan class and utilize Peacekeepers as an exotic armor piece. This is extremely unbalanced, one may say, but it pretty much makes Titans highly mobile and elusive in the sandbox, which can be a Hunter and Warlock's worst nightmare. So if you guys are looking for some payback to annoy some people, slap on some Peacekeepers, throw on an SMG like Unending Tempest, and enjoy your time. Now, altogether, I haven't really loved an SMG like this since the Recluse back in like Destiny Forsaken. That's a long time ago, a very, very long time ago, and I am happy to say that this weapon is just absolutely incredible. It feels like it has incredible range. We'll showcase that compared to the Immortal, as well as a few other things, and the perk selection here can be honestly one of the most insane selections that Bungie has ever allowed a player to use in PvP. So with that being said, let's jump into all the perks. We'll be reading this from right to left. We'll label so you guys can follow. And first up, all the way to the right with Origin Trait, we have two. We have One Quiet Moment and Nadir Focus. Now, One Quiet Moment grants increased reload speed when out of combat, and Nadir Focus, Sustained Fire increases accuracy and range, and for swords it increases distance, projectile velocity for launchers. None of that is important here, but Nadir Focus is a great Origin Trait. I highly recommend you guys utilize it. Now, over in column 4, we have a wide selection of perks to choose from. Makes sense, this is a world drop, so we have Adrenaline Junkie, Headstone, Frenzy, Collective Action, Fragile Focus, Multi-Kill Clip, Surrounded, Target Lock, Tap the Trigger, Cascade Point, Harmony, and Rangefinder. Over in column 3, we have Demolitionist, Enlightened Action, Subsistence, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Gunshot Straight, Killing Wind, Perpetual Motion, Discord, Moving Target, Offhand Strike, Shot Swap, and Under Over. Over in column 2, we have Tactical Mag, Flared Magwell, Appended Mag, Accurized Rounds, Extended Mag, Steady Rounds, and Alloy Magazine. And guys, when it comes to barrel, there's just too much to cover, but pretty much whatever you want to go for in the PvP sense. Anything that increases your range will be likely the best option for you, but again, everyone playstyle could be a little bit differently. Maybe you want a lot more handling or stability, depends on, but overall this weapon has very light recoil, so pick wisely. Now, when it comes to the god roll you want, Hammerforged Rifling, Accurized Rounds are great perks to increase the range. Altogether, we got a plus 20 to that range stat, so that'll be incredible for an SMG, a close quarter weapon. Enlightened Action is just an incredible perk altogether, dealing damage, improves reload speed and handling. This definitely brings it up to the Immortal. We'll showcase that in the comparison tool on LightGG. And then we're rocking Target Lock, because even though they nerfed it, this is still a very viable perk in PvP. If you guys want to slot this for Multi-Kill Clip, Rangefinder, whatever your preference here, so as long as it's, in my opinion, a damage increasing perk, then be my guest. But for me, Target Lock is kind of the go-to, more consistent option. Nadir Focus, because I like that Origin Trait more. And if you guys can, a range masterwork will be ideal, but again, you can't craft this, so I understand some of the frustrations of trying to get that perfect roll that this is. Now, before we give our closing thoughts on this weapon, let's compare this to the Immortal. Now, this is via LightGG, the comparison tool, and as you see here, even though this is different archetypes, the Unending Tempest really wins out on the Immortal on some key statistics, specifically impact, range, and stability. So it has a 25 compared to its 22 on the impact. It has a 53 compared to its 40 range, and in stability, it is at a 41 compared to its 30. So So right here, these are some massive stats that this Unending Tempest is winning. Now, it does lack handling and reload speed compared to the Immortal, but that's where Enlightened Action is going to come in play. Enlightened Action will buff handling and reload speed by a plus 10 stat. So again, for reload speed, it brings it up to par with the Immortal, and then you obviously can have some loaders. For the handling side, it gets it a bit closer, but nothing as what the Immortal does, so just keep that in mind if handling is your go-to statistic. I know for some people that is pretty damn important. And one thing that's really important based on the new sandbox, zoom is identical. This is a stat that has pretty much been flatlined and just made simple, which is pretty damn good. So yeah, altogether, this is an incredible weapon. And something that's really important that I always forget to cover sometimes, the aim assistance stat. This has a higher aim assistance stat, so that's already user friendly in that regard. So yeah, this Unending Tempest has my heart, it has my love, and I really recommend you guys grinding and getting this. Now altogether, if you guys love the Immortal, you guys have that god roll, it has target lock, it's still a solid SMG to use. But if you guys maybe want a little bit something better, or maybe you don't have the patience to grind out trials for that Immortal, then the Unending Tempest should be a very viable option. And in some ways, even easier to get for some of those different skill gaps in the game. But altogether, this is arguably one of my favorite SMGs ever in the game, like I mentioned before. It reminds me of the Recluse, and yeah, it's hard to put down. So besides that, leave your thoughts down below on this weapon. Are you still with the Immortal? You know, the Immortal has your heart locked away, or are you switching over to the Unending Tempest and giving this a go because it's incredible? Leave your thoughts down below. If you guys also enjoyed this video and found this video informative, definitely be sure to drop the video a like, helps out the video a ton. And for more content from me, be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I do drop more content. But until then, that's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.